Leather is everywhere. We wear it, we walk in it, we drive in it, and we even relax in it. We love it so much that the leather market is expected to reach over $700 billion in 2030. But, as you may know, leather comes from animals, especially cows. A lot of people like cows, so naturally, vegan leather alternatives become more and more desirable. Most vegan leathers are made using plastic and other non sustainable materials, which many people would like to avoid. Some vegan products have addressed these issues, like cork leather, which use cork as the main material without plastic additives, and Mycoworks, which use mushroom mycelium to actually build the vegan like material. But what if you could make it your own at home? A lot of people have tried this. If you go on YouTube, you can also find a lot of tutorials specifically on how to make kombucha leather that you might have heard of, which consists of fermenting kombucha tea that forms a layer of a gel-like material called the pellicle. And after a bit of transformation and processing, you can turn this pellicle layer into actual leather-like material. However, while I was also researching this topic, I noticed that in a lot of the times the material was actually not that high quality. It was either thin, brittle, the color wasn't that great. It wasn't really usable. I mean, it was a fun project for maybe your kids or a quick afternoon project. But I was wondering, what if you made a vegan leather from kombucha that is actually durable, malleable enough, and decent enough to maybe use it to make gloves, shoes, purses, any type of traditional leather product. In this first episode, I'm going to show you how to get to this product, which is, in my opinion, already better than most of the tutorials that you can find on the internet. So in this series, what I plan to do is in each episode address some problems and make some developments. And by the end, I would like to have a good product that could actually be used and made by you at home to actually make a kombucha leather jacket or whatever you want to do with some quality in it. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you will want to do is to get some water boiling, so to make our tea. So after boiling, I add about 2 cups of sugar, since this is 2 liters, so about 1 cup of sugar per liter. It's about 150 grams each. So here you can see me just stirring to dissolve the sugar. After dissolving the sugar, you can add your tea bags. Again, we're just making basically sweet black tea. So this is just black tea packets, 2 per liter, so about 4. So now you just leave it be to steep the tea. After steeping, you can throw away the tea bags like so, and now you have your black tea. It's still quite hot, so it will kill your bacteria, so you first need to let it cool down to room temperature. After cooling, you can now add the culture. You can buy it on eBay, Amazon, pretty much everywhere. It's very easy to get a culture, but you need a live culture of kombucha bacteria. So here I'm just mixing it with the tea. It's important to mix quite a bit of liquid. So after you're done, you can go into the containers. So the containers I'm using, I actually got them on Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to use them. They're very good since they have a lot of surface area and not a lot of depth, which is the best thing that you want to make pellicle. You don't need it to be that deep. So they also are great for stacking, which allows you to be more space efficient. Here I'm just adding some of the culture to each container. It will grow about 1 centimeter of pellicle, so you don't need that much more. But yeah, so now I'm just adding the liquid to each layer and stacking them on each other, which is just, again, it's just more space efficient. I'm putting them here in this black box that stays at 25°C. This is an incubator that I made myself. If you want to know how I made it, you can let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video about it. But yeah, so Now everything is stacked. Just need to add a lid on top to prevent dust and anything from going into the pellicle and disrupting it. Okay, so from the side here you can see the 5 layers. And now we can just close it up. Leave it for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks is more or less the time that it takes to grow the best pellicle possible. So just leave it. If you don't have an incubator, just leave it in a dark place that has at room temperature, and don't touch it. Because if you touch it, you get a lot of, the pellicle could get disrupted, and then it's not like super nice and a clean slab. So just don't touch it, just leave it. So this is about 2 weeks later. You can see me here wearing gloves. Now it's quite squishy and gel-like, so if you touch it with your bare hands, not only will you get very vinegar-smelling hands, because this is basically making vinegar, but your nails very easily puncture the material, so I really recommend using gloves. So here I already collected all of them, the 5 layers. They're looking quite good, actually. You can see them here from the side. This is about 1 centimeter of thickness. Okay, so after you're done washing, that's the first step. So here I'm just using a plastic tub to, a bigger container to wash the pellicle layers. You see there's a lot of this black material attached to it, which is, dead bacteria and yeast that, got stuck in the fibers. So here I'm just washing it. Again, use gloves. You are definitely gonna tear it if you don't use gloves, so just use them. This will also remove some of the vinegar already, so you don't get that very strong smell. So this is quite important to do. Okay, so this is after washing everything, the first wash. After doing this, you can see I just stacked them and put them all on top of each other. So now we're gonna go into our first step of compression. So you can see me here using the same containers. These containers are super useful for many different stages of the leather making, but since they have exactly the same size, they really fit in there. So here I'm just making like a kombucha pellicle lasagna, you could say. So just stacking all of them together in one container. So this will help them keep their shape when I compress them. Here you can see the apparatus that I made for the first compression. You have 3 containers. You can see how they stack on each other. The lower one will allow me to collect the liquid. The middle one has the pellicle, and the top one is just to apply compression. Here on this time lapse, you can clearly see the liquid pooling at the bottom as it drips to the lower one, and you can see the layers compressing. By doing this, all of that liquid is being removed. Okay, so this is after the first compression step. You can see it has significantly shrunk already. You can see. So it's losing volume, and since it's by compressing and not by drying, it's removing all of that liquid, the vinegar liquid, that causes that bad smell that you have on your final product. So this is a very important step to really reduce the smell. So you get something a bit more neutral and less repulsing, So here you can see the layers. They're looking very nice, very similar to each other. That's why using the same container really helps. So with this done, now I'm just stacking them again in the bigger tub for the second step of compression that will go even further, pushing it even further down. Here I'm just using a plastic cutting board and some jugs of water. This is about so 2 jugs is about 10 liters of water, so about 10 kilograms. And I'm just going to leave it like this, and it will keep compressing the material and releasing more and more liquid. I left it for maybe 3 days, and along those days, it's good for you to remove the liquid that starts to pool as it is compressed. You can see here, You can see here some of the liquid still. You should remove it, you shouldn't let it pool. Okay, it's coming, it's kind of glued to the panel, but I guess it's easier to show off. But yeah, so this is how it looks like. It's looking super good. So this is about 5 layers compressed. You see how it's very convenient to be all of them in the, so it's 5 containers that I'm using, but all of the same size. So when I compress them, they're basically one big blob, one big brick. But yeah, look how smooth it looks. It has a little bit of a discoloration, but it's just color, like the texture is the same. But yeah, it's looking quite nice. Yeah, now it's ready to actually dry out. Now I'm just putting in on top of a stainless steel tray to get it flat, and I'm putting 2 layers of baking paper on both sides. This will allow it to be, you know, keep it as straight as possible, and make it evaporate very slowly and in a uniform way. So now I can just put it in the oven. This is just set to circulate the air with the, you know, fan mode, just to circulate everything. And I'm gonna be leaving it at around 50 to 60 C, so not boiling, just warm. Now it's already quite advanced in the process. I just let it dry out in the oven. It takes maybe a day or so, maybe a bit more. You can always pause it if you need and just come back later. But yeah, now I'm just washing the material because it got quite dry, and in the beginning it's quite brittle if you really dry it until the end. You really don't need to, but I think if you do, you just need to add some water to rehydrate it. You can see how it's, right now it's getting a lot of, it's very malleable and everything. You can stretch it, pull it, twist it, you know, like treating, I don't know, fresh hide, you know, fresh leather, animal leather. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing here, just washing. Also the concentrated vinegar from the drying process, so this is also good to wash it to get some of that vinegar out. But I can tell you the smell will be a lot weaker than if you did those common, you know, kombucha tutorials that you see on the internet. So here I'm just showing off how the material looks after wetting it. You see it's quite malleable. There are some spots that there is a bit of discoloration. That's just the top layer that got a bit cooked, let's say, that got a bit darker. It came off, but it's very thin. It's not really a problem, just from the nails. Again, this is still not completely finished. But yeah, so now I'm just going to compress it a little bit with my own body weight. You can see here, just compressing it to get that water that we added out. So after compressing, just between kitchen towels, I'm just going to remove the tissue towel. You can see it's very flat and all the moisture is out, or at least the surface moisture. It's not wet to the touch. It's just slightly moist. You can see here with better lighting, a very nice texture, a very pliable. The color really resembles, you know, that dark natural leather that you can find. Yeah. The final process of this is to add some glycerin. So just cover it with glycerin on the surface, just polish it with glycerin and let it absorb. Okay, so here we have the finished product finally after all of those steps. So all of the glycerin that I added has been absorbed, so it still has a nice shine to it, but clearly all of the liquid was absorbed. Since the glycerin is kind of like a water attractant, it might still be a bit too saturated, so it hasn't reached the equilibrium of dryness and water. Super soft, super movable. You can see, it's hard to see, the light, but it has a nice leathery color, a natural leather color, which is, I guess, quite nice already. Yeah, actually, let me get my wallet. So here you can see the leather that I made. It's kind of like brown. So this is my wallet. I mean, of course, it's treated a bit different, but just so you see the surface. I mean, I think I could make a wallet out of this material for sure. I am pretty confident that it's better than most kombucha leather, you know, recipes or methods that you see. It's also slightly more complex, but I guess that's kind of just expected and no way around it. Although I want to really optimize the method, but yeah. So could be a cool. I guess you could also, this could maybe be a good thing for cosplay, if you like doing this sort of stuff like that. Like some type of armor or something like that. From very far away, it just looks like normal leather. It's really remarkable, and I'm really happy with this. So this is version 5 of the, let's say, prototype. Let me get the other ones. Okay, I got it. So this is just a little scrap. I don't have the rest of it because it was so brittle it broke a lot. But this was the first time I ever made kombucha leather. So you can see here, it almost looks like plastic. You can probably hear the sound. It's like very plasticky. I don't know how to explain. Yeah, very thin, very easy to break. I mean, if you pull on it, it's quite resilient, but yeah, you can tear it quite easily. So this was my first version, so this was V1. This one I think was version 2. I think it was still this is just one layer, but it's a lot thicker. I just let it grow longer. So yeah, it's still resilient. I also like crumbed. It still has that like plastic sound. But and you can see it doesn't. It's quite stiff. It's not very malleable. It's more like a plastic, some type of plastic or like paper, than really leather. But yeah, this one doesn't have really that much of a smell. So yeah, this one was already a pretty big improvement. So this was version 2. Okay, so version 3. Here it is. You can see the color is slightly different, and it's also thicker. So this one was the first like more poly layer, leather that I made. You can see it's still a bit stiff, but it's starting to have a different sound for sure. It doesn't have so much of a plastic sound. I don't know how to explain it, but more resilient, darker, thicker. Yeah, still quite rough and dry. Yeah, so this doesn't have a glycerin treatment. That came only to the last version. This was version 3. So with this, I basically tried to make it even thicker. So this is like version 4. I'm quite proud of this. It's a lot darker in color. It's thicker too. So this one I think has like 5 layers. But you can see here clearly the problem that I'm having with poly layers, which is like delamination. So I didn't do this. This is just with the movement and using it for a very long time, it just starts to separate. So this is one of the things I want to tackle next. But yeah, I just folded the sides. It kind of looks like a nice wallet, to be honest. Yeah, the color is different, but it's resistant. I also tried to stitch, and it does work. I don't really have stitching equipment, but I was able to get something to work. I don't know how well you can see, but yeah. So it has a nicer feel, a nice sound. With this one I even tried to use a hand moisturizer to try to make it a bit more malleable, but it dries out quite fast, so it doesn't, and it leaves like a smell of hand moisturizer in the material, so it's not the best in my opinion. And I also want to I like to prepare the material with everything that I could make at home. So glycerin is a lot better. I mean, there was already glycerin in the moisturizer. I think that's part of it, of why it was kind of working. But yeah, you can actually make glycerin at home quite easily, so I prefer it to just use glycerin. So this was version 4. And now, as you can see, there's quite a big difference in size here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it's a lot bigger, has a darker color. The layers are very similar in size and the container where they were grown. Like the conditions were almost the same, so each layer is almost exactly the same, because for these ones they were quite different between them. But yeah, super supple. Like, look at this. Like you don't get this in the other ones. Yeah. So I mean, this one already has a bend on it, but yeah. This is like the most leather-like, for sure. For now, this is it. Right now I actually have to go catch a plane for the Easter holidays, so yeah. So just a quick update on the material. This was the leather I made in the video. It was super abused. You can see it's a bit different now. You see this right here was me burning it, just setting it on fire. It handled okay. The texture is kind of weird. I don't know how well you can see the mark. It's kind of silvery. But yeah, it has like a velvety texture, which is interesting, I guess. But yeah, I subjected this to a lot of tugging and pulling and everything. And it's still kind of okay. It's getting a bit drier. I think I might need to do multiple glycerin applications for sure. But yeah, I also tried sewing it with the sewing machine. I don't know if you can see it well. But yeah, this is sewn. And it is holding well. You see this little, I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but this is like folded, and it is strong. It's holding on the stitches, so it is definitely usable. But yeah, also it's a bit shorter because I got somebody to make me a little pouch, like a coin purse or coin carrier or whatever. So you can see here how it's stitched and with like a button stamped onto it. I've been using it in my pants just to see how it would work as like an actual piece, and it's still working fine, you know. It has some wear and tear already, but it's still pretty solid. You can see here some coins, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the first clothing item, it's quite small, but it's just a test piece to keep it in my pants. But yeah, it is quite durable for sure. I think this would work quite well as like a knife pouch, I think. Anyway, so just wanted to show you this. I think I'm already dragging this video quite a bit, but hopefully with this video you got a kind of the overview of what I've done until now, like the current process. I'm already working on improving some of the things. For example, the delamination, one of the biggest problems. I don't know if you can see here, but it's like the different layers are kind of separating after a bit of time of using them. So that's something I need to work on. I've actually already made some improvements that don't seem to delaminate, but I think I'll keep it for the next video. So this will be, like I said before, like a series of videos of improvements. But yeah, so I already have some prototypes working, and I also have a few other ideas to maybe even make them stronger, the binding between the layers. But anyway, yeah, that was it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you sticked around until the end. Thank you for that if you're watching this. If you enjoyed this video and if you enjoyed what I'm trying to make here, making something actually usable instead of just like something not really usable per se. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It's still quite a small channel, but yeah, a subscriber just makes it even more valuable. Yeah, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified if I do more videos. This series will continue, as I've said before. You can also check out my other videos. They're more biology based, currently working on slime molds and other stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.